Hello, Easton voters. Today I've asked some of our town officials here to go over the logistics of town meeting. With me here at the table is Connor Reed, our town administrator, the fire chief, Chief Partridge, Danielle Sicard, who's our town clerk, and the superintendent of schools, Leisha Cabral. Today we're going to discuss the logistics of our town meeting. As everybody is probably aware of by now, the town meeting, the special town meeting, is going to be October the 28th at Stonehill College at the Ames Sports Complex. The town meeting is going to start at our regular time at 7 o'clock, but doors will open at 5. I'm going to turn it now over to Connor, who will explain why we're going to have it at Stonehill.
Sure, thank you, Kate. So we've gotten a lot of really good questions from voters who've asked, town meeting is typically at Oliver Ames, why would this be at a different spot? And we talked about this with the select board back over the summer, and we went back and looked at town meeting voter records from the past 2 times that there was a school building project on the warrant. And it's a good problem to have, but at the 2 most recent times that there was a school funding article on the warrant, we had more than 2,000 people show up to vote. And so that's great. We're happy to see high turnout. However, that's much more people than we can actually accommodate in the Oliver Ames High School auditorium. Typically, our town meetings are attended by between 1 to 800 people. That auditorium's capacity is 1,200. So that's 1,200 for not only the voters, but also staff and everyone in the room that it takes to make a town meeting happen. And so, because we have the history here in Easton where we have more than 2,000 people show up for these projects relatively consistently, we've thought to ourselves, well, gee, what can we do to try and make sure that we offer a venue that's large enough and comfortable enough to accommodate everyone who wants to participate. And so we have been meeting with all of our peers for months now planning this, and we thought of the Ames Sports Complex at Stonehill College, which the college was generous enough to make available to the town. The sports complex can fit up to 4,000 voters, which is significantly larger than any of the facilities that we have in town. So the internal capacity is significantly better than what we could do. And we also have been working with Stonehill College, and Chief Partridge will speak to this in a minute, as far as making sure that there is at least comparable, if not more, parking available at Stonehill as to what you would have had at Oliver Ames. So in the past, what ended up happening, if you had 2,000 or more people show up to the high school, is you end up with multi-room town meetings, multiple moderators, simulcasting, and the OA campus can only park about 600 cars, and that's if you take every parking spot on Easton Middle School, OA, and RO. So you end up with cars kind of all over the streets, and it can be really challenging. So we've been putting a lot of thought into this. The other folks here with me are going to get into some more of the detail there, but the short answer to why are we having this at Stonehill is Stonehill has a much larger facility. We could fit far more voters in one room, so everyone can see and hear the presentations at the exact same time, participate in the same room with their neighbors at the exact same time, and make sure that they can get in, vote, and get out safely. So Chief Partridge, you want to talk a little bit about the logistical planning that you've been working on with DPW and police and your colleagues at Stonehill about voters getting on campus, off campus, and how that's all going to work.
Certainly. Thank you, Connor. As mentioned, the police chief, DPW director, and myself have been working together with Stonehill to put together both a parking plan and a traffic and pedestrian safety plan. We do have quite a bit of parking available on Stonehill campus. We're going to ask everybody to enter through the Belmont Street entrance. It'll be one-way traffic only. We will fill parking lots up as vehicles arrive. You'll be directed to what parking lots to go to, and then once the campus is full, we're going to ask everybody to go to the industrial park where we've lined up some additional parking there. All on-street parking in the industrial park will be allowed, and there are several parking lots. We will have plenty of signage, both on campus and off campus, directing people where to go to park. We will also have police officers both on the streets and on campus, directing vehicles and allowing people to stop at different places. We will have drop-off points on Morrow Drive as you enter the campus at the Sally Blair Ames building. So if you are carpooling and you need to drop people off, you can stop at the building. We'll allow people to get out, and then we'll move the vehicles on to park at different locations. If you're if you're at one of the remote parking lots, there will be signage directing you where to walk, but we'll also have several bus shuttles going throughout the campus for those that might need assistance. There will be buses continually running from the industrial park for anybody that parks over there. It's approximately a mile, so you can walk if you'd like. Otherwise, you wait for the bus. We will have signage on Bristol and Norfolk Drive as to where the buses will be parking. The buses will remain to the end of the meeting to return people to their vehicles. We'll also have police officers at various locations on Belmont Street, including the 99 and Bristol Drive, to allow pedestrians to walk across to the sidewalk. They'll be stopping traffic. Do not try to enter off of Washington Street, 138. You'll not be allowed to enter the campus in that direction. Once all the campus is full, again, we'll ask you to move to that off-site location. We will also have certain DPW people helping us to park the vehicles on the campus as well. And inside the building, we'll have plenty of staff in there. As was mentioned, it's anticipated to have a large crowd inside the Sally Blair Ames Fieldhouse. It is big enough to accommodate that many people, but we'll have police and fire there just to make sure everyone's safe.
So,
Thank you, Chief. Danielle, can you speak about voting?
Sure, absolutely. So now that you've made it to the sports complex, we will have multiple locations for check-in. There's be a check-in area in the main lobby, and then there'll be a side entrance that voters can enter from. Either one of those is fine. You don't have to choose one versus the other based on your precincts. Any voter can go to either one of the two check-in locations. We will have 16 different tables with poll pads ready to get the voters registered and in as quickly as possible. But as Connor mentioned, we are expecting quite a large turnout, so it'll be really important that voters attend and come early to check in. If we start registering everybody at 6:30, the meeting will likely not be able to start at 7 p.m. So we strongly encourage everybody to come on campus and check in early. When you come and check in, I would recommend that you bring your identification. It's not required to show an ID. However, the poll pads has a mechanism that makes it a little quicker to register everybody. We won't be checking your IDs, but you can scan your ID to register and to check in. In some cases, some voters who are inactive would be required to actually show an ID also. And so plan ahead and bring your ID with you. At check-in, after we found that you are a registered voter, your hand will be stamped and you will be provided with a ballot. Kate, the moderator, has decided that we are going to do this vote with a ballot vote, being proactive and saving time from having to go back in and receive ballots. So you'll be receiving a stamp on your hand, which basically indicates that you've received a ballot. When it's time to proceed with the vote, row by row, we will assist you up to the ballot boxes. Please be patient, wait until your row is called up so we can do this in an orderly and quick fashion. And there'll be somebody standing, an election worker standing in front of the ballot box. That person will be checking to make sure that you haven't already cast a ballot, that you only have one hand stamp. After you cast your ballot, you will receive a second hand stamp, and then we'll ask you to proceed back to your seats. Some of the things, how do you get there at 5 o'clock? We're encouraging you, we're going to be ready for you at 5 o'clock. The campus is beautiful. Come early, check in, there'll be some food carts there, and enjoy the campus, check in, get your ballot, and then be in the room for the meeting to start at 7 o'clock. So I think that's me covering what I needed to do, although we will have babysitting services, and so I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Cabral to talk a little bit about how you can utilize those services.
Thank you. So some of you may know that we have had babysitting services in the past at the high school when we've had town meeting at the high school. Because it's going to be at Stonehill this year, we're actually going to hold babysitting services at Moreau Hall. Moreau Hall is within walking distance of Stonehill, so parents that utilize the service can park at Moreau Hall and walk if they choose, or utilize any of the shuttle services or parking on campus, as the others have explained to you. Babysitting will be open at 5:30 p.m. because the town meeting will be open at 5 o'clock, and so if anybody would like to bring their children for 5:30, they will be babysitting services available until 30 minutes after town meeting ends. So we'll be in constant contact with Moreau Hall and let them know when that's happening. We have staff members and students who are going to be providing the babysitting services. We're going to be providing our regular food service, snacks and water to children. And so if you are interested in the babysitting services, which are going to be offered for free, you can sign up on the district website. You can also contact central office. We can help you there. If you can't find it at either of those places, you can find it on the project website, which I'll be repeating again later, which is Easton, eesproject.com. There'll be a link in that spot. There'll also be a link on the district website. And as I said, you can also contact central office and we'd be happy to help you sign up. Would you like me to talk about the project a little bit?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so in addition to the resources available on the website, we thought we would just give you a quick synopsis of why we're working on this in the first place. This is something that we've been working on since at least 2011. We've put in what's called an SOI, or a Statement of Interest, to the Massachusetts School Building Authority every year since then. Massachusetts School Building Authority is the state agency that actually provides a great deal of financial assistance in helping a project like this get off the ground. It is the service or the government agency that has provided funding in the past for Easton for its past projects. We are very fortunate in Easton that we have support for education and for our buildings, and for the past 20 to 25 years we've had several projects that have taken place that have gotten us to the point where we're ready to do our elementary schools. So our other school projects are approximately 20 to 25 years old. These three schools are between 55 and 65 years old. So unfortunately, they have reached their useful lives. They were built at a time when there were some products that were used that are not safe today when they are exposed, and we're trying to keep that from happening. We have great DPW service and custodial services at our schools. However, it has become an issue of space, an issue of inappropriate, not only the amount of space, but inappropriate space. Education has changed a great deal in the last 65 years. And so based on MSBA requirements and also Department of Education, we unfortunately have insufficient space for our three schools. It's also the only grade band, pre-K to 2, in the district which is at separate schools. And it creates some challenges in terms of coordinating resources and having staff work together in the most efficient way possible. So because of these reasons, and also because we have been given this opportunity by the MSBA, we have been involved in this process for the past 2 years. In 2017, the MSBA invited us to work with them and create a school that would accommodate actually all of Easton's pre-K to 2 students. And so that's what we're working on now. We have all of the information from the last 2 years, including the work of the school planning committee, presentations that have been done in town, as well as all of the drawings and information that's been provided to the MSBA in this process. So again, that website is Easton, eesproject.com. You can also access that from our district website. We encourage you to take a look at that and let us know if you have any questions. There is a link on there that you can send an email if you have a specific question, and we answer all of them. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Our goal is for everyone to understand what the project's about, why we're doing this, and answer any questions or concerns so that you can make an informed choice, whatever that may be when you're at town meeting. There are 2 votes necessary for this project. The first is the one that we're talking about at town meeting on October 28th. That vote is necessary to approve appropriation of funding for the project. And then there's also a ballot vote at the traditional place, which is Oliver Ames High School, and that is to approve a debt exclusion override, which would be what would be used for funding this project. So both of those votes are necessary. We encourage people to come out and make your vote, cast your vote for your preference on the project, but please do so in an informed manner and let us know if there's any information we can provide that will assist you in making your determination.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. I just want to stress a couple of things. We are opening the Ames Sports Complex at 5 o'clock in the evening, and as Danielle has already addressed, it seems like it's really early to open the sports complex that early, but we are anticipating a lot of voters, as Connor has indicated, and 2 hours is a reasonable amount of time in order to check in the amount of people that we are expecting. And as everybody knows, we only need a quorum of 100 people to start town meeting. But I want to be clear that if at 7 o'clock there are still a lot of people out there waiting to check in, if the line is extremely long, if the line goes out around the building, and people are getting stressed about the fact that they're not checked in at 7 o'clock, we will wait until everybody gets checked in. That doesn't mean that you should show up at 6:30. Obviously, that's why we want people to show up and start at 5 o'clock when we open. But we're not going to leave everybody or a lot of people out in the cold if you're still waiting in line. So I just want everybody to realize that and not be too stressed out about the fact that the line may still be long at 7 o'clock. And if nobody else has any other comments, I think that's it.
Kate, I just wanted to remind voters also to bring a black pen with them. That will definitely, we will provide pens for voting, but it would help the process if voters had a black pen in order to mark their ballot at their seats.
Right, exactly. Good point. Thank you, Danielle.
And just a reminder on the dates. So this program obviously is talking about the October 28th special town meeting in Stonehill, which is unique because it's at a different location. We expect a lot of people to turn out. There is the debt exclusion override election that's associated with this project, which is Tuesday, November 5th at the Oliver Ames High School from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then there is another town meeting, November 12th, which is a Tuesday at the standard location at Oliver Ames High School for more routine fall town meeting business. So lots of democratic activities for voters this fall, but those are the three important dates. You have October 28th and November 5th for the early elementary school project, and then November 12th for the more standard business. So, and if anyone has any questions about that, they could always contact any of our offices, the Easton School Project website, which is eastoneesproject.com, or go to the town website for general information about town meeting.
And there's a flyer available.
Exactly. There's a flyer available on the website. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone.